You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. See, that's what that national TV gonna come from. Yeah, you good. Oh yeah, turn it back over there. Yeah, I'll get it together sometime. You know he playing with you, right? He said, What? Oh, I don't know. All right, shalom. New month, a new day, huh? Same old lesson. We're still talking about the threshing floor. Or the judgment. Fiery judgment, right? So, I since I've been gone for 2 months, we just do a little bit of a review. Just a cassette. You all should know this stuff, you know. And you know that praying. I ain't gonna say all that. Can I have a keyboard? I'm just, like, I know you ain't seen me in a while, but you know, I need a keyboard. All right. Y'all excited? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna see today. All right. So what we will discuss today, okay? Like I said, we're gonna do a little summary on the first couple of lessons that we did. Then we're gonna talk about the last thing we talked about, which was patience. And then just a little refresher on what being refined is. And then we're gonna get into the new stuff, okay? But as always, you know what we gotta do. We gotta do these rules, right? All right. Please keep your mic muted except when asking or answering a question. Use the mic to speak. There is a feature on Zoom in the meeting room where you can raise your hand if you have a question. See, I'm gonna test something out next week. I'm gonna make an open discussion next week. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some rules now. Just a little bit, but we see how everybody listens. We'll see. All questions must be on the topic. You have 60 seconds to ask or answer a question. If you pass your 60-second window, your mic will be muted for you. These rules are due to time and the recordings of the lessons. These are live teachings. I'm here in the flesh now. We must give the Moreh enough time to complete the lesson. This will be mixed with discussions to help build one another. 4 hours? I don't know about that. Please do not abuse the time. All right. And I was bored because I had 2 months to do this. So let's see what the quote is today. Your disobedience will have the Father consider you worthless to him in the end.
Absolutely.
So I guess y'all think there's some truth to that, huh? Okay. We're gonna see today. We're gonna see today. All right. So let's do this. It's brief summary. It's real brief. Just gonna talk about definitions here. Someone tell me what this means to be separation. Google's not here, so I actually had some good answers. Well, just mute his mic if he try to call in. So anybody, what does separation mean? This is, remember, when I ask these questions this early, this is the general sense. I don't need the biblical sense. Just in general, what does separation mean? Okay, we got a hand in the back, huh?
Apart
Not togetherness.
Okay, both of y'all wanted to talk.
It's set apart.
It's part of it, being set apart. What was you gonna say, Fabian?
You said just a general, right?
Yeah.
Separation is not togetherness, right?
Not togetherness. Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead.
I would say singled out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. Huh? All right. We keep going. All right. So forming or viewed as a unit apart or by itself. Now, when we did this, we focused on being detached and being disconnected. Right? And we also says it calls to move or be apart. And it's basically the same thing when you look at the similarities. To break up, to move apart, divide. Right? Now it says to divide or cause to divide into constituent or distinct elements. All right. All right. She wants to separate herself from this room right now. All right. So when it comes to disconnect, it's to break the connection of or between. Everybody want to be on camera today. All right, Kenisha. All right. And we looked at being divorced or severed or isolated. And I said isolation is good because some people, I can't read all the way over there. No, I got to read it because you ain't got the mic, man. Isolation is good because some people don't want to isolate or move away from the things that give them problems the most. All right? And then we focus on disassociate in the sense of being disconnected from meaningful relationships. And then I asked, what if those relationships aren't healthy? What if they aren't any good mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and for most people, financially? I was going to say something, but you saw a pause. Welcome back. We shouldn't have the same mind like that. Woo. Boy, oh boy. We keep the party going. To disengage, separate or release someone or something from something to which they are attached or connected. And again, all of that ties in. So you see it's being removed, being detached, being detangled, or separate, right? And then you got unyoked. How many people know about being unyoked? All right. To disengage means to free or disentangle yourself or some object from another person or object. Okay? It probably would help if I were to keep up on my actual, so I can know what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Somebody didn't touch something. It's my mic. I got it. You touch it again? Okay. All right, then we talked about being set apart. Well, I'm just, you know how y'all engineers are back there? Separate something and keep it for a special purpose.
That's set apart.
Huh? That describes everybody in here, right?
Yeah. See what?
Okay. We're going to see today.
Describe everybody in here.
We gonna,
set apart for a special purpose.
To isolate, separate, segregate. All right. And then it says, make someone seem distinctive or superior. Huh? Now, I don't know about the superior part, but everybody should be distinctive up in here at least. Yeah, we'll see. And similarly, we see it again as being distinguished or, like Akuti says, singled out. All right. See, this is easy summary stuff, right? Yeah, I remember this. Intimacy. Right? The state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Now, I know with atonement coming up, everybody took care of that already, right? You working on it? September will be here before you know it now. And similarly, you see this has hostility, animosity, friction, opposition. That don't describe nobody in here. All right. Now, all this is the opposite of being having friendship and goodwill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, y'all say y'all want to be in a community, right? That's it.
Oh, way over there.
We're going to talk about that new body in a minute, too. Undoubtedly, the basic reasons behind all the intimacies in that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. I mean, next week, not tomorrow. Is the conflict of desires when actions of a particular individual clash with the desires of another. Unpleasant feelings are created which subsequently generate the entity. For example, that's your truth, not mine. Your Bible read different. We've come right back to what the Mashiach was saying in Matthew 10, 37, 38. You don't remember, go back and read it. We have to learn how to separate ourselves from this world and become more in tune with the Word. It's simple on paper, of course, harder in real life, but guess what? Anything worth fighting for is never easy to obtain. You actually have to work for it. You know, we don't say application is key for nothing. Right? All right, so this was the last lesson we did. It was all about patience. We still got that patience?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. We're on the last battery.
Yeah, y'all remember the battery? It was right there on the cuffs now. It was all right. It was blinking. Yeah, it was blinking. Someone described to me what patience is, and it's a lot of back alley talk. Somebody pick up. Is that what it is? What? Okay. Okay. Yaakov, got your hand up.
Yes, shalom. Patience is grace.
It's grace. He talking about unmerited favor, huh? Okay.
To me, I think patience is deferring from the negative result.
That's
Deferring.
Now remember, we're talking in general sense here. Yeah, so it's okay. I give you that.
Somebody in the room, somebody's in the room said long suffering.
So it's slow, huh? All right. Anybody else? Okay. You say something? Yeah.
The Moreh said humility, humbleness. What else you got?
This wasn't supposed to be a long lesson, y'all. I was playing. The quality of being patient as the bearing of provocation, annoyance, misfortune, huh?
Oh, my goodness. He whispered, Michael.
They say my voice wasn't loud. It's low on YouTube. No, we're not doing all that. Nah, we good. No, we're not.
I hope I can be heard.
Whatever. I can turn your mic off. Is what I can do. I got power.
Patience I keep.
Superiority, and then we just read superiority over here. Put these slides to work. That's what I'm trying. What about now? It's a 5-second delay. Yeah, it's 5 seconds. Give them 5 seconds.
I can hear you, Moreh.
Hallelujah. Say Zoom don't count. Yahuah on YouTube. What do I sound like? That's the one.
It's a little low.
YouTube.
Some of them log into both.
Are you ready for the next comedian? All right, we'll keep going to the. I don't want no trouble. All right. Back to where we were. It says the quality of being patient as the bearing of provocation, annoyance, misfortune, or pain without complaint, loss of temper, irritation, or the like. Inability or willingness, I say it again, the ability or willingness to suppress relentlessness or annoyance when confronted with delay, to have patience with a slow learner. Let's keep going. No. Patience is an adjective that means to be amenable to waiting or accepting of delays. It is accompanied with peacefulness and a calm nature, all right? Patience is the noun form of the adjective patient. Now, what are 3 qualities of patience? Anybody? Got it. Who? Oh, go ahead. I gotta learn to look over here. That's it.
Compassion, maybe.
Compassion, okay. All right. Go ahead. I guess you're right there. You want to say
Self-control.
self-control. Okay. All right, Barry. Sherrod Danny Yahoo.
Understanding.
I like that. Understanding. Who would that be? Yahoo Sean?
Love.
Love. Okay. Somebody else? Oh, okay, love. Yeah. You go ahead.
Remaining calm.
That's a good one. Remaining calm. I have 3 myself. Go ahead.
Gentleness.
Gentleness. Oh, man. Yeah. They moved right to that verse, ain't they? Anyone else? Go ahead. The elder want to speak. First of all, you paid for him. You research him.
Understanding.
All right. Go ahead. I don't think nobody said forgiveness, so you go right ahead.
Forgiveness.
All right. I hear you. You want to see what I got? Okay. So I said patience creates confidence, decisiveness. Who? She can go for the next question. And a thoughtful outlook on life. Patience leads to wisdom and success. Go ahead, Yukari. I'll let her say her spiel.
I was just gonna say humility.
Humility. All right. So why is it important to be patient? Generally speaking, with all those nice little lovely answers y'all gave.
For me, I would think it's important because you would want somebody to have patience with you.
That's good.
Patience, it allows you to be still instead of giving a reaction, if I'm saying it right. If you're patient, you don't give the immediate response you want to give. Your patience would allow you to give the Yahuah, Yahushua's response. If you have patience.
Mm-hmm.
Patience will cause you to think before you react.
Mm-hmm.
It allows that person to try to understand somebody, to allow them to get their point across without you ready to beat them up at the first thing you hear. Because they
It's a
may
trigger point.
Right, because they may want to get something out, but they may not know how to. And so as they keep going, you get impatient with them. So I'm saying that's what you would do.
Don't nobody do that with their children, do they? Huh? What, what was that meme that Mikael had? That season is coming. I said 3 apples. If you got 3 apples. Go ahead. Hold on, but you want to say something, didn't you?
Yeah.
Nah. Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Yeah. Patience creates a thoughtful outlook on life, and it also leads to wisdom and success. So that's why it's important.
You trying my patience. All right, all right. Who's online? Yaakov, go ahead, Yaakov. Right.
So I homeschool our twins, and when I was teaching them how to read, I had to really show a lot of patience because I knew if I didn't, I would break their confidence and it could destroy their ability to have, the ability to read in a smooth manner and everything. So I had to really hold my fleshy reactions back, especially when it came to like a word I knew they knew, things like that. So patience, especially with children, you just really have to use a lot of self-control.
That's what mothers are for, because as a father, they ain't gonna happen. Go ahead, Caleb.
I was going to say patience allows you to listen and not just hear.
That's right. Go ahead.
Patience also allows you not to sin. You don't have patience, you're going to sin. You're going to turn against somebody. You're going to hurt somebody's feelings. You're going to kill somebody. Without patience, that's all over with. Everything, ball game over.
But it's like we were saying, it gives you a chance to think about what you're going to do before you do it. Or say and do, because that's me. All right. Patience enables us to analyze things and situations beyond their face value. Quick to listen, slow to answer. The resourcefulness, being calm and empathetic, behavior and self-control of patient people can make them very popular and someone worth talking to. And I asked the question, can anyone explain why this might be? How could it make you popular and someone worth talking to? I think that Kuti already answered that. Y'all remember what she said? Okay. All right, so your calm demeanor can help smooth out certain situations. Your level-headed way of thinking can also change the thought process of whoever you're talking to as well. If you being nice and calm, they're going to be nice and calm, right? Ideally, that's true. That's true. Because I got 3 of them that I can tell you right now that wouldn't work. Patience gives people inner peace and the ability to keep smiling despite challenges and hardships that someone might go through. It may not work with children all the time. It depends on what type of child you got, But no, I really don't know if he work with a teenager now. I got one. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's patient doing these slides. Okay. All right, now, biblically speaking, the quality or forbearance and self-control, which shows itself particularly in a willingness to wait upon Elohim or Yahuah and his will. Believers are called upon to be patient in their expectations of Elohim, his actions, and in their relationships with one another. Oh, it got quiet. Oh, is that how you see patient with Elohim? Or what about one another? I don't know about all that.
And it's one of the fruits of the Spirit.
It's fruits of the Spirit? Yeah. The whole sound good on paper thing. Right. Okay. Galatians 5:22-23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness. Y'all said all this stuff, didn't you? Self-control. Against such things, there is no law. You have to be able to keep yourself in check. Huh? Is it say it's easy? Oh, okay.
And he said, you remember he said, he might ask that question, what is the ruach, the fruit of the ruach? And you just label it off. And he'd be like, well, you didn't show that. Here. Where was your fruit? I'm trying to inspect your fruit.
You already know you're in trouble because
Still in the
had
seed.
that book open right there saying, no, you ain't do that. No, you ain't. Nope. You ain't do that either. There ain't no check mark right there. Nope. You don't want that, right? Nah. Moreh, all right, it means forbearance or long suffering or patience. This is something you should have. This shouldn't even be a question in this walk. You're automatically supposed to have this in your ruach. Huh? I hear you singing. Oh. You gotta say it. I was all right. I said you gotta say it in the mic.
I'm just saying, it's something that's developed over some, because if you ain't got no patience, you got to work on patience.
You got to work on a lot of things.
You know what I'm saying? So you just know you just got a hair trigger. I got this much tolerance for ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't that one of the lessons we did about triggers and how you need to get those in control? So that's why I say you should already be here if you following what we're doing.
We're working on it. We heard the lesson. I heard a lot of lessons over here. I've been sitting in the Bible all my life. But I still ain't got it.
Just keep it moving. Jeremiah 15:15. Boy, the crew is back, ain't it? Oh, Yahuah, remember me and visit me, and take vengeance for me on my persecutors. In your forbearance, or slow to anger, take me not away. Know that for your sake I bear reproach. Is that in somebody's heart? Before your child come up to you and you know they did something wrong, and you know they about to lie, do you say this? Oh. Okay, so we have the H748. Can I say that word for me? Arach. Now this is a prime root to draw out, to prolong something, to tarry. All right. So keep all that in mind, because I think this patience lesson is kind of going back into what we're going to talk about today. Right? Yeah, this was the last lesson we did, when you was out of town. Yeah. He was gone. All right. So then we had talked about how Paul had referred to his mortal body as wasting away. I remember that? No? Okay. 2 Corinthians 4:16-18. So we do not lose heart, though our outer shell is wasting away. Our inner self is being renewed. All right, and we're going to talk about being renewed versus being new next week. Can anybody say this word for me? Anakakeno. Yes, something like that. Now, it means to be renewed with a sense to be or become reestablished in a like new and often improved manner. So let's read that again with that in mind. So we do not lose heart, though our outer shell is wasting away. Our inner self is being renewed day by day, because that's what the Father looks at. Right? For this light, momentary, which means on the spot, for the present, or immediately, something that's happening now. For this light of monetary affliction It's preparing us for the internal weight of esteem beyond all comparison. And I said, when you are not helping yourself by working on yourself, this will have you miss out on that esteem. Because this is what everybody wants. But if you're not working on yourself, you ain't about to get this. 18, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, they are temporary. But the things that are unseen are eternal, forever, indefinitely. But what are you working towards? All right. See, it's getting quiet now. We starting to get real now. Yeah? Nah. Verse 18, for I consider that the sufferings or the misfortune, distress due to adversity of this present time are not worth comparing with the esteem that is to be revealed to us. You have to stop worrying about these things that are going on now. That's not your end goal. You have to remember this is temporary. You all say that you believe in the Father, right? You got trust in him. But as soon as something hits that road, you got questions all of a sudden. That's going to push you back. That esteem is going to start to look real small to you. It's going to start getting in the rear view. All right. Psalms 30:5. For his anger is but for a moment, and his favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes with the morning. If you just tell yourself that once or twice, I bet you some of those problems you say you got to go away. Keep it moving. Somebody say something? Okay. Somebody feel it, and they just had to let you hear it. 1 Peter 1:6-7. In this you rejoice, now for a little while. That y'all said you had it. I think everybody need retraining. We got to retrain the engineers, and then we got to have choir rehearsal. It all needs to come together. This all, man. Is it what we're going to do in the community? Is it what we're going to do? All right. In this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, and we all have them, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, isn't that not what being refined is? More precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and esteem and honor at the revelation of Yahuah HaMashiach. If you're not working towards what the Father wants you to work towards, you're going to have a long test. It's going to be a long trial until you start to get it and understand it. Just like I said with these series that we're doing. Remember, I tell you, we're going to keep doing this over and over again until the Father thinks that you all have it. This is number 6. Moreh can do 50 easily. Because it's important, right? I'm going to let y'all know next week, exactly why we're doing the threshing floor. It's not the typical answer. We know that from a general standpoint, it's to separate, it's for the harvest. But spiritually, it's a whole nother ball game, because you're just not going there to repent for yourself. You got to repent for what you done did and what the stuff you didn't put the people in. Right? So in order for you to do that, you have to be a certain way. You can't just come to the Father any old kind of way, say, I want to repent for myself and everybody around me. It ain't going to work like that. So this is the whole process that you have to go through in order to get to that certain point. All right? We We did a whole lesson on that. All right. Let's keep going. 2 Corinthians 5, 1-5. All right. For we know that if the tent, that is our earthly home, is destroyed, we have a building from Elohim, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. Talk about removing your old and putting on the new, huh? So for tent here, we have the G4636 with its skenus. It's a hut or a temporary residence, i.e. figuratively the human body as the abode of the spirit, or the tabernacle. That's what you're supposed to be right now. You're supposed to be the tabernacle, right? Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page here. This is talking about your body, okay? Now, it's temporary habitation in the human body, like what we just read, right? This outer shell is temporary. That's what you start thinking like that. Like, you're not going to go through this for the rest of your life. So why are you acting like it? Why are you acting like this is it? That's where patience comes in. Wherever you're going through, you can't act like this is the be-all, end-all. That's not faith. That's not trust. That's you still being a part of this world, having that mindset. So that's what all it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a separation. Go ahead.
All right, so a couple of things is, since we're on the patience, so as he's sharing, we have this vessel is temporary, but we shouldn't be testing each other while we're in this temporary body. Meaning, we argue, we bicker, we fight. We don't like something, we keep it on, we don't share with each other, try to reason with each other, because you're making this temporary body not able to function the way Yah wants you to function, because we're having issues with ourselves, we're having issues with others, and that's not the design of why he created us. So, yes, there are some things that we can go through temporarily, as this body is temporary, but we should also encourage each other to try to resolve issues with one another so that we can make it less painful in this temporary vessel.
What he said. And he yielded. For now. All right. So then we have the G1919, apogeos. This means worldly, earthly, in this earth. All right. Terrestrial, it's of this earth. So therefore you have to understand that what you're going through is a temporary occurrence on this earth. Okay? It's not what you're going to look, this is not what you're looking forward to. When you're talking about getting to Shamayim, you ain't looking forward to this. All right? You want to keep this here. All right? All right. Now this is pertaining to human earthly activity, primary in contrast with divine activity, the human of people. So we're going to finish out 2 Corinthians 5. This is 2-5, right? For in this tent we groan, longing to be put on our heavenly dwelling, if indeed by putting it on we may not be found naked. Now that is yumnos, is to being without a covering. And I ask the question, is being without a covering just a physical thing? And what else could it be? The spiritual? Okay. I think we covered that. We had a whole lesson on that. Yes, we did. Verse 4, for while we are still in this tent we groan, and that is the nazo. That means to sigh, to murmur, pray inaudibly, with grief, holding a grudge that the Moreh just talked about. Being burdened, not that we would be unclothed, but that we will be further clothed, so that what is mortal may be swallowed up by life. That's what you want. He who has prepared us for this very thing is Elohim, who has given us the spirit of the Ruach as a guarantee. But guess what? From all these other sides we just did, if you ain't doing your part, you think you're going to see this? You might as well keep on that tent that you got on, because he ain't going to give you a new one. Simply put, This earthly body we wish to take off, and we wish to put on our heavenly or set apart garments, but you have to be transformed, thus being refined into something the Father can use and call his own. That's what you should be working towards. There's no other way around this. We tracking so far? This is just what we talked about the last lesson. We ain't even got there yet. All right, let's get to the new stuff. All right. Somebody tell me, what does refined mean? I know we talked about it. In a general sense, anybody got an answer before he got an iPhone 4? It might take a while. Let's let Sherrod go first. Go ahead, Sherrod, Daddy.
Refine. I think refine means to renew or to restore.
Okay. That's the process in which we should take. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead.
To remove all impurities.
That's a good one. Somebody remember something. Okay. Anybody else? All right, go ahead. Leora, go ahead.
Shalom. I was gonna say to be purged.
I like that. To be purged. Yeah. Go ahead.
To improve by making small changes in a particular make to be subtle and accurate.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Remove impurities in metal to make the precious metal pure. All right. It's a purification process. As a verb, is to treat or prepare so as to remove impurities or put in a usable condition. Yeah. So we have the G4442. This is puro, as in burn with fire or to purge. All right. And then we have the G4448. Is puro, means to kindle. And I said to think of the Father's wrath. Remember, we did that whole thing on kindling his fire, right? So therefore, you see, figuratively, it means to be inflamed with anger, grief, lust, to be on fire or to try. And that's the big thing that we've been talking about, is being tried and being tested. And how do you handle that? All right. All right. And then we have the H6884 to start her off, right? A prime root to fuse. And I highlighted fuse because we're going to bring that back up in a moment. All right. But literally, this is what we're doing here. You want to be refined. As a goldsmith melts metals to be pure, to be purged away, to try, i.e. smelting, all right, the refining process. All right. Don't become worthless. Question, does anyone know what an assayer is? I already see his fingers twiddling away back there. Go ahead. You be the first one. See the dictionary of this one?
It's a person that tests a metal to find out if it's pure.
All right. Now, this person analyzes metals, ores, minerals, or alloys. Keep that in mind. In order to ascertain the quantity of gold or silver or any other substance present in them. Okay? Listen to this. The quantity determines the quality. Same thing with you. What's really in your heart determines what type of person you really are. How much value you bring to the table. you should be asking yourself, just how much value do I bring to the table? And when you're asking that question, you have to ask it when it concerns this walk, you as a brother or a sister in this walk, or as an Ish or an Isha. But most importantly, when it comes to being a child of the Most High. Because that's what he's testing. H969. Someone see what that is? Yeah.
Bachon.
Yes, Bachon. It's an assayer, i.e. one who tests metals for value and purity according to a standard. Now, what could that standard be? You had to praise moment. I understand. All right. Then we have the H974. It's similar to the first one. Anybody want to say it besides him? Bachan. You know what? Just go ahead and say it, because.
Bachan.
Okay. All right. I like pecans too, but this ain't the same pecans. All right. It's a prime root to test, especially metals, figuratively to investigate, examine, prove, tempt, to try or have a trial. And I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. Now, tell me in your own words, what does it mean to be worthless? The window's not open outside. Yes. He got a mic. He went with somebody else.
Oh, somebody else? Okay.
Yeah. You can you had the mic. Oh, Mishael. Go ahead.
One word that comes to mind is the Hebrew word Belial, which also means like yokeless, right, or lawless, or worthless, not subject to the law of Elohim.
Okay, I like that. Go ahead, Abia.
Having no
The
value.
views and opinions expressed by Moreh Chanan do not reflect everybody in the path to Yahuah.
Having no value.
I see another hand up over here. Anybody? Okay. You had something?
You're not worth 2 pennies rubbed together.
Oh, man. Oh. You look right in my eyes when you said that. I don't. Man, this. I guess we really do got to go talk after this. Told me they ain't till next month. My goodness. All right. Anyone else? Leora. Okay, I got you. Hold on, let's let Leora go first.
Non-existent.
Oh, okay. Non-existent. Okay. Leora? Yes.
I would say void, empty, invalid.
Yahuah.
Separated from Yahuah.
That could be a byproduct of it, of being worthless. All right, go ahead.
I don't know if this has been said or not, but useless.
Oh, yeah. Is it Kanisha?
I was going to say that, Maureen. No worries.
Okay. The bot?
Lacking heart or lacking value.
Okay. You got a lack in the value. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Having no real value or use. All right. Valueless. Of little or no value. All right. Having no good qualities. And similarly, being good for nothing. You're useless. Yeah. I like Keenan said, I ain't worth 2 pennies. I don't know. Yes. I don't know what I did. All right. Look at it. He done dropped his phone. He's like, see, he mad now. Where your patience? Jeremiah 6:27-30. I have made you a tester of metals among my people, that you may know and test their ways. So we already starting off with the standard, right? So there goes the standard of purity, right there. All right. Now, during this time, the Father had a standard that he wanted the people tested on. And guess what? The Father still has a standard that he wants his people tested on. Now, some of you want to be called among the righteous, but don't want to put in the word. That's where this test comes in. No, you can be free on the other side. Verse 28, they are all stubbornly rebellious. What we say rebellious is disobedient and wicked, going about with slanders. Now, this is the Hebrew word rahil. One who attacks the reputation of another. You a talebearer. They are bronze and iron. Now, why does that matter when he says that they are bronze and iron? There's a specific word I told you to remember. Okay, somebody paying attention. Okay. All of them act corruptly. Now, bronze and iron are both alloys, which is a mixture of chemical elements of which at least one of them is a metal. Now keep that in mind, okay? Let's go to Isaiah 125. I will turn my hand against you and will smelt away your dross. Remember what dross was? Something regarded as worthless, rubbish, waste, or foreign matter. It's an impurity. So, going to the bathroom ain't going to help this. I will turn my hand against you and will smelt away your dross as with lye. Now remember what lye was. It's a strong alkaline solution, especially of potassium hydroxide used for washing and cleaning. Now I said we are not talking about taking the bath, okay? You ain't using this to wash up. Yeah, it ain't going to be temporary no more. That skin gone. Now look, at this point, because you're disobedient and wicked, the Father considers you an impurity. Now, does that mean that's the end? Okay, let's make it sure. But you on the cups now. You saw being patient. That battery had that one dot left. That's how the Father feels right about now. He got one dot left. Okay.
So you're saying that. So that's the whole point. If we're worthless to the Father, we be cast into the lake of fire. We're constantly being purified then. No. Oh, okay.
The views from this Moreh do not. No, that is not what that means. No, because once you go into that lake, that's pretty much the end. The refining process has stopped at that point. Okay. Now, how do we know? Okay. So let's read it all again. I will turn my hand against you and will smelt away your dross as with lye, and remove. And the word here is sur, to remove something concrete or abstract, all your alloy. Okay. That's a big thing. You don't want to be considered alloy. Now, the word here for alloy is bet-il, is dross, impurities, i.e. what is separated and worthless in metal before the dross process is removed in liquid metal, i.e. the smelting process. Do y'all remember what the smelting process was? What I say happens? First of all, what is it? Physically, what is the smelter? What is it? It's our word to see. It's close. It's the crucible, remember? No crucifix. How much time we got? How many slides? So, in the crucible, you're putting all this metal in there, and you're heating it up, right? So you're starting the separating process from the dross, from the actual pure metal, right? All right, I didn't put that up there. I thought surely y'all will remember that. Now, these are the things that you're supposed to be getting rid of, but you are fusing yourself with it. This is causing you to become worthless to the Father. Remember saraf? It's the prime root to fuse. All right, now look at this. The metal is the precious or the valuable metal versus the dross, which is the worthless impurities. Where's the separation when you can't get this stuff out you? You got both of them in there. And the more you go through this process, the more that stuff gonna stick together. Okay. I said next week's lesson was supposed to be the good one, didn't I? I got you. Ezekiel 22:17-22. And the word of Yahuah came to me. Son of man, the house of Israel has become what? Dross, worthless to me. All of them are bronze and tin and iron and lead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. In the furnace they are dross, they are worthless of silver. That's twice he said worthless, right? See the third time. Verse 19, therefore thus says Yahuwah Elohim, because you have all become dross or worthless, therefore, behold, I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as one gathers silver and bronze and iron and lead and tin into the furnace. He's talking about the crucible that you're going in. To blow the fire on it in order to melt it. So I will gather you in my anger. They're talking about being kindled again. And in my wrath, I will put you in and melt you. I will gather you and blow you with the fire of my wrath, and you shall be melted in the midst of it. As silver is melted in the furnace, so you shall be melted in the midst of it, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. I have poured out my wrath upon you. So I think that battery is depleted at this point. Yeah. You can't control yourself. Yeah. Do you hear me now? Yes. Psalms 119:119. Had a flashback. All the wicked of the earth you discard like dross, worthless. Therefore I love your testimonies. I think at this point you can probably hang it up. So once again, I know that we all want to be refined, but we shouldn't want to end up as the dross or the impurities that comes with the refining process. That's supposed to be the stuff that we get rid of so that we can become useful in the Father's eyes. All right. Back to Jeremiah 6:27-30. This is verse 29. The bellows blow fiercely. The lead is consumed by the fire. In vain, the refining goes on, for the wicked are not removed. You are stubborn and you don't want to change. Rejected silver they are called, for Yahuwah has rejected him. That's your judgment. It's one of the most precious things. And he's saying, you know what? I don't want that. You get my drift. So we just seen what we started with what the standard was. And as you went through the standard, you see that his eyes started twitching because you wasn't getting it. But then he gave you another chance. That's what the testing process is. And then you couldn't handle that. So now we get into this. He's saying, look, you just wicked and disobedient. He's starting to see there won't be a change in you. So what did that slide with the quote I had? I said the Father would consider you worthless when you're being disobedient. I'm just throwing stuff out there. All right, let's look at this. Well, we already know what this is, but this is what I'm saying. It's the purity of the people, right? The wicked become low quality when they go against the Father. He don't need you. You can say that all you want to. I just don't want to be near you when you say it. I'm like, Father, don't write that down in my book. All right, So this is a summary. I know this is a whole summary of what we just read, all right? So when it comes to Jeremiah 6:28, the Father commissioned Jeremiah to be a tester of metal. Gold and silver were refined by submitting ore mixed with lead to intense heat. What did we say the ore was? Anybody remember? You don't have to, it's right there. Ore is a natural rock. This is generally speaking. Ore is natural rock or sediment that contains one or more valuable minerals, typically containing metals that can be mined, treated, and sold at a profit. Ore is extracted from the earth through mining and treated or refined, often via smelting, to extract the valuable metals or minerals. Now, let's look at it like this. The ore represents you, the beginning foundation, right? In order to get out of you what the Father has intended, you have to go through something. And we use the metallurgy analogy. When you have to be shaken up in a furnace, or in this case, the crucible, in order to separate you from the old you, in order to turn you into something precious. And what Moreh Chanan said, better than silver or gold, a peculiar people. Now, when heated, the lead oxidized and carried off the dross. And remember what that was. It's worthless rubbish, right? Leaving the pure metal. Now, the people, the ore, had become hardened rebels. For them, the refining process, i.e. the chastisement, was in vain. Is that not what we read? The testing will determine how the people measure up to the Father's requirements. That was the standard. Previous chastisement and warnings had done no good. This chastisement did not purge out the wicked from Judah or Yahuah. Because no righteous people could be found, they would be set aside as useless to the Father. They will become like rejected silver because Yahuah has rejected them. That's like going through this whole walk, letting the old man die and becoming a new creature just to go back to dig up your old self. Like getting the ticket to get on the bus of salvation just to take said ticket, rip it up, and throw it away. Okay, you can say what you want to say. Now, that's why we say that this is a rehearsal, right? You have every chance to practice the things the Father wants you to do. You have a choice to do these things or not. It's really up to you. Remember that blueprint we always talk about. Right? It's right there in your face. All right. We're almost done. Test them, Father. Test them. Somebody tell me what is a test. What's the matter, your phone, bro? Anybody? Ain't a trick question. What's a test? Go ahead. Okay.
It's a review. I mean, it's a challenge of skill sets.
Challenge. All right, Leora.
I would say an evaluation.
That's a good one.
I would say it's an assessment of your knowledge.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's a procedure intended to establish the quality, performance, and determine if it is reliable.
Thank you, Google. Anyone else? All right. Yeah. A procedure intended to accept the quality, performance, or reliability of something, especially. All right. What he said. A trial, examination, or probe. All right. See, I go further though. See now. Take measures to check the quality or the performance or reliability of something, especially before putting it into widespread use or practice. Now, biblically speaking, you say you want to be a servant, you have to figure out if you're actually willing to serve. The Father is looking to see if you are willing to serve Him, trust in Him, no matter the situation. The Father is looking to see if you are willing to not only serve Him, but your brothers and sisters in the truth as well. No one said that you can't serve people outside the truth. What I'm saying is that charity starts at home. This could mean doing things you necessarily don't want to do, or being in situations that are not ideal. The thing is, will these types of scenarios stop you from serving the Father? It could go either way. You could carry out trials, put to the test, or put you through them paces. It's a lot of scenarios. I just gave you a synopsis. It's a lot. All right. Proverbs 17:3. The crucible is for silver, and the furnace is for gold, and Yahuah tests the heart. That wicked thing. That thing. No, it ain't right, right? The inner you tells the complete story, not the outside. Because if it was this be that easy, we all be in there. Just how you look on the outside. Mm-hmm. All right. Somebody give me a definition of reputation. Some of y'all must have had some questionable reputations around here. Man, this. Woo. I'm glad there's only one slide. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A good name.
Go ahead.
Me?
No, I'm let her go first.
The character that you're known for.
Oh.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
That was it. Yeah. Go ahead in the bot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, something that you're known by, you know, your name, your character, your fame.
All right. All right. Anyone else? Oh. I hope that didn't resonate on YouTube. They ain't gonna be able to watch this lesson. The beliefs or opinions that are generally held about someone or something. A widespread belief that someone or something has a particular habit or characteristic. Your name, your good name, your character. Right? Proverbs 27:21. As the finding pot for silver and the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. So let's read that again in the Septuagint. Fire is the trier of gold and silver, but a man is tried by the mouth of them who praise him. The Hebrew word for praise is, in this context, is the H4110. Anybody want to say that? Mahalal, right? It's reputation, praise, i.e. positive spoken words about a person. Now, praise tests the character. A man to his praise according to his praise as he bears it. Vain men seek it. Weak men are inflated by it. Wise men disregard it. Humility plays an important role. For example, we're going to go to the womb. Jeremiah 9:8-9. Therefore, thus says Yahuah of hosts, behold, I will refine, as Seraph, refine them and test. All right, so this is, in this context, is the Bechon, right? It's the judge. So he said, I will refine them and test them, for what else can I do because of my people? Their tongue is a deadly arrow. It speaks deceitfully. With his mouth, each speaks peace to his neighbor, but in his heart, that inner man that tells the whole truth, he plans an ambush for him. Shall I not punish them for these things? Declares Yahuah. Shall I not avenge myself on a nation such as this? All right, now the people spoke deceitfully, which led the Father to try to refine and test them because of their deceitful tongue and the sin. So remember I asked the question before, when he gets to a certain point, does that mean that is it? He still gives you a chance. He already know how wicked you are, but that don't mean that he just going to throw you by the wayside. He gives you the chance to get this right. But guess what? That didn't work. So the Father placed the people in the crucible of judgment to deal with their deceit and downright crooked ways. Mhm. So let's see why the Father said this. All right. This is Jeremiah 8:19 and 21. Behold, the cry of the daughter of my people from the length and the breadth of the land is Yahuah not in Zion? Is her king not in her? Look at this. Why have they provoked me to anger, so you enkindled his anger again, with their carved images and with their foreign idols? The harvest is past, meaning the reaping has passed. The summer is ended, and we are not saved. For the womb, which is sheber, it means destruction. So the womb of the daughter of my people is my heart wounded. And this is shabar, which means it's broken, it's brokenhearted. Here it's saying, because of the things that you're doing and lack thereof, my heart is broken. I mourn and dismay has taken hold on me. This is the judgment and the discipline that a father brings down on his disobedient children. The harvest, which we know is a separation, gives you the chance to repent. That's why I say you can't just go to the threshing floor any kind of way. That chance will come and go, and for those who haven't endured, you will lose at your chance at salvation because of your disobedience. Remember that rear view. You're going to see it all the way back there. It's going to start looking smaller and smaller. The Father's response to this was to let the people know that the destruction was brought about because of their sin, not by his absence. You ever find yourself asking that question, Father, why you leave me? Well, check yourself. What's that song R. Kelly made, When a Woman's Fed Up? No. Let's switch that around. When the Father's fed up, there ain't nothing you can do about it. My goodness, I gotta be quicker than that. Whew, I know I did. I set myself up. I did. Now y'all singing it. Jeremiah 8:11. They have healed the womb of my people lightly, saying, peace, peace, where there is no peace. This is how some of us act now. Some of our problems are as follows. Yeah, I've sinned, but it's no big deal. Yeah, I'm letting distractions get in the way of my focus. It's fine. No, I'm not being obedient to the Father, but it's all good. This attitude is the reason the Father brought judgment in the first place. You keep putting a bandage over your problems and expect the Father to just go along with it. The Father gives you warnings and opportunities to get things right. When you don't, you have to expect the consequences. Case in point, Jeremiah 8:12. Were they ashamed? This means bush is embarrassed or guilty because of one's actions, characteristics, or associations. Even who you associate with can be a problem. So were they ashamed when they committed abomination? And this is something that is exceptionally loathsome, hateful, sinful, wicked, or vile. No, they were not at all ashamed. They did not know how to blush. All right, this is kalan. It's a prime root to wound, but only figuratively to taunt or insult, to be made ashamed. All right, be confounded, be put to confusion. This is where you get reproached. Therefore, they shall fall among the fallen. Oh, this isn't the fall. It means to collapse, be inferior to, bring to ruin. So therefore, they shall fall among the fallen. When I punish them, they shall be overthrown. This is kashal. This means to stumble, stagger, to walk unsteadily. This is to cause someone to stumble, says Yahuah. So because of your disobedience, the Father will literally cause your downfall. Oh yeah, well, as I said, you need to check yourself. Jeremiah 14:17, you shall say to them this word, let my eyes run down with tears night and day, and let them not cease, for the virgin daughter of my people is shattered with a great wound, with a very grievous blow. You can't keep walking around taking your sin lightly, putting a bandage over the wound, assuming that the injury is not serious when in fact it can be terminal. Because in the end, it's going to be no salvation for you. No, not the gangrene. All right. With that being said, any questions or comments pertaining to the lesson?
Okay, so this lesson made me think about something that you said in the earlier segment of this. You talked about being a vessel, and it made me think about Romans 9 when it speaks in verse 21 down. It says, does not the potter have authority over the clay from the same lump to make one vessel for value and another not for value? And if Elohim, desiring to show wrath and to make his power known, with much patience tolerated the vessels of wrath prepared for destruction. Is that prepared for destruction like the instance where you saying like, all right, I'm fed up with y'all, I gave y'all a chance to get right? Or is this literally created for destruction? Because, you know what I'm saying? I've heard people use that verse for like saying people were created to be destroyed. But, you know, so.
Simple answer, no. No. Remember what we're saying throughout this whole thing. There's a consequence for your actions. Yeah, you could choose to do good or not. But there's going to be a consequence for it. You need, yeah.
Cain, did he have a choice in his action?
Yeah.
But what did he choose? He said, come to me, sin. I love you, baby. You know? He said, come on in. And we all have that choice. And then you just make your choice. You know, Most High's desire is that all men be saved. Right? But then you have a choice. Even Judas, he had a choice.
Oh, yeah.
But he made his choice. He said, well, it's best that you wasn't even born, brother. You know, because you chose wrong. You know, so everybody has a choice.
Yeah, a couple of things kind of came to mind. Yasharon said initially, I need you to survive, and talking about each other. And then the song came about, you know, when you said we got to check ourselves. So you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. So then you also talked about how showing the patience with the Father and with each other as well. So we have to hold each other accountable too. So yeah, I need y'all to survive so that we can all help each other out. And also, man, you know, obedience will save your life. So shout out to the Bread and Wine podcast episode. episode 8. I mean, look, it tied in. It literally tied in. It tied in even to the R. Kelly statement.
Yeah, y'all did talk about that.
I'm just saying. I saw it. It hit me. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna put your banner up for the next lesson.
Yeah, obedience will save your life.
Plugging.
So yeah, all that kind of like hit me at one time. So Brock, Yahuah.
Yes, when two or three agree. Hallelujah. Anything else? Don't worry, it's gonna get better next week. Next week we're gonna talk about submission and respect. You know what submission is.
One of the things that struck me was you asked, what is the reputation? So the question is, what type of reputation do you think you have?
Mhm.
Is it a good reputation or is it a bad reputation? You know?
The only reason why I didn't expound on that because we had a lesson on that. I did a whole lesson on your character when it comes to your reputation. So
'Cause I'm always thinking about that, you know. Because it said other people are going to be the ones that's going to determine or test your reputation.
How do you handle it?
Yeah. And that's when you start, you know. Let's say Yahuah uses you to heal somebody. And then all of a sudden, everybody's bringing everybody to you to get healed.
Can you just touch a shoulder?
Do you start a YouTube channel and start getting?
Come by every Wednesday and Thursday to get your shoulder touched.
I'm just saying, you know.
Well, that's the whole man in his praise, right?
Yeah.
How do you handle someone giving you that praise? Do you let it inflate you? Do you disregard it? I mean, what do you do with it?
Well, it
Test your character. Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like your reputation shouldn't matter depending on depending on who's speaking on your name. It shouldn't even be thought about. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people are just the type of people to be contentious. So whatever they're gonna say about somebody, 9 times out of 10 gonna be something crazy anyway. So I feel like a reputation should only matter coming from somebody else that's a decent person.
Well, what about when it's in the terms of showing your light, being a light to other people? That's your reputation.
So I would use the Yahushua as an example for that. We know he did no wrong, but yet constantly he had people talking down on him and going against him.
But what I'm saying is your reputation doesn't have to be a bad thing, especially when you're doing it for the right purpose. Yeah, so you're gonna get the enmity anyway. That's gonna be a part of it. But
yeah, your reputation is going to be centered around Yah. So when your light shines, it's because of His word that makes you look good. So that's kind of how it works. So as long as you do, like you said, I'm not here trying to brag about myself, but you don't need to do that because Yah's using you, and by Him using you, by default, you get a reputation.
Your rep is off the chain. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like Yahushua. He was walking around, people started to know him, and at one point, somebody even asked him, "Hey, good man, what do I do?" He said, "Well, why are you calling me good?"
His reputation preceded him. All right. Anything else? So like I said, next week we're talking about submission. Don't look at me like that. We're talking about submission. Not in the sense that everybody talks about. We'll get into it. But no. With that, now is it? Oh, we're going to see next week. With that being said, let's hurry get out of here. If all hearts and minds are clear, let us stand and close.
Hallelujah. As we clear our minds, as Moreh said, Baruch Hashem Yahuah Eloheinu Melech Olam, Torah Rebab Yahuah, for this moment in time to be able to assemble to hear your word. We give you praise, honor, and esteem for our daily bread, our spiritual bread, in which you've given us today, Ab Yahuah, through the mouth of your servant. We ask that you would fill him, Father, a full again, as he has poured out what you have given him. We ask you to restore, Ab Yahuah, anything, Ab Yahuah, that has been lost, and also enhance those things, Ab Yahuah, that you have given. Torah Rebab Yahuah, for the opportunity and your gift for the ears to be able to hear the things that were said on today, Ab Yahuah. We ask you, Father, to help us to be able to receive the refining process, Ab Yahuah, which you are doing in our lives every day, Ab Yahuah. Help us to see and understand those things and those processes that are happening, that at the end of the process, Ab Yahuah, and we know that the process is continually until we see you, but during the process, Ab Yahuah, we pray for the strength and the will to be able to understand the process and to accept it. That at the end of that process, Father, and at the beginning of the next, we will be pleasing unto you in all that we do. We ask, Yahuah, that you would bless the meal that has been prepared for those that are at the Knesset, and even those that are at home right now, Yahuah. We ask that you would baruch them, baruch the hands that prepared it. And we ask, Yahuah, that you would do it in Yahushua's name. And we give you the praise, Yahuah, continuously. The honor and the esteem we know belongs all to you. Torah Rebah, Yahuah, in Yahushua Mashiach's name, the Leil to Yahuah. Amen.